Before heading to the video, if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it and don't forget to click the bell icon for the latest update notification. If you like the video, do like, comment and share. Stay tuned with learnbay.co. Happy learning! Hello and welcome everyone to the Aspire to Inspire interview series by Learnbay.co. Today I am with you, DIKSHA SINGHAL, your moderator for the day, and with me I have SHUBHAM, a data analyst at SAPIENT, to share his success story from management background to data science. So first of all, Shubham, welcome to this interview series, episode 3.
Thank you so much, Diksha. It's a pleasure being here today.
Absolutely, the same for me. So, Shubham, first of all, tell me how COVID-19 is treating you in your country, like in your city, in your country, how the things are and how the things are going.
So the situation is not that great, as you know, within the whole country.
Right.
Uh, and I'm based in Bangalore right now. The
Mm-hmm.
situation is critical here also. But the only thing we can do at the moment is stay inside, and that's how my days are going right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, first of all, Shubham, my question to you is that as you have, recently came into the field of data science and you are a data analyst now. So, what are your job responsibilities? What kind of work environment do you fall into? How is your experience going as of now?
So since I made a switch from a marketing professional to data analytics, I can say things are good for me and majorly new because there
Mm-hmm.
are many things which I'm doing for the first time.
Right.
Uh, Dealing with large data sets, working around them,
Mm-hmm.
getting meaningful informations, insights out of it. So
Right.
the kind of work I'm around is now full of data. So that is
All right.
overwhelming, and I
All
can say it's
right.
going good.
Amazing. So, Shubham, why did you do a career transition from management background? Like, I am very curious to know that management is such a good background to be into or to work in. So, why did you do a career transition?
Well, to start with, I was working as a marketing manager in an advertising agency in Bangalore,
All right.
and things were good. Things were very dynamic, I can say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of learning opportunities there. So slowly I moved up. I got an opportunity to work on some of the key clients we have, and
Right.
then I was managing them directly,
Mm-hmm.
interacting with the client on a daily basis, weekly basis, and presenting them with the reports of the kind
Right.
of work we were doing.
Right. Right.
So I was a part of performance marketing team, and
Mm-hmm.
our work basically involved instant results where we could show them the output of what
Right.
we were actually doing.
Right.
But what I felt was there was a need to solve problems rather than just doing the normal marketing or the advertising activities.
Right.
So when I was doing those presentations, a common question which was always asked to me was, how can I get the sales, or how can I
Mm-hmm.
get the profits out of it? Like, how is your marketing activities
Mm.
translating into sales or leads or conversions for me?
Right. Right.
So that question made me think that whatever activities I'm doing, that's fine. I can show
Mm-hmm.
them the results in terms of website clicks or impressions or viewers. But somewhere there was something which was missing in terms of insights and better understanding of the audiences and the cohorts,
All
where
right.
the client had a lot of data in terms of
Mm-hmm.
online, offline, the footfalls, the customer databases.
Right.
So that used to make me think, I can do more with this.
Right.
So that's where I thought maybe getting into a field where I can dig deeper into data, analyze it, and provide more insights to it. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where the inspiration came from.
Right. This is amazing. I really feel overwhelmed here that you thought of something uh, providing to your field more to put in more efforts for your field. So that is really amazing. But my question to you is that what fascinated you in data science? Like you could have chosen many other methods, like there is SPSS or any other methods by which you could have done profit for your marketing area, or could have enhanced the marketing area. Why data science?
Well, so when I was into the marketing space and I was basically creating reports for the clients and working for them, I felt that there was a need for me to analyze the data in a much more efficient way,
Mm-hmm.
visualize it, present it in a much simpler visualization form, which can be easily understandable by the clients who are not so much of data geeks.
Right.
So that was the basic idea behind it, because what the data we were dealing with was mainly little, I can say, because we just had the marketing data of what activities we were doing.
Right.
But
Right.
apart from that, there's a lot of data what we can gather from the clients itself,
Mm-hmm.
within the data of, say, the last 6 months, a year or so, and analyzing that data into that particular industry can give us very detailed and very unique informations and
Right.
findings to that
Right.
particular kind of industry you're into.
Right.
So that made me that made me think that data science is something where I can venture into,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be able to understand the data in a much better way to give a better meaning and insights to the client. Because
Right.
any client you're working with, the ultimate aim should be to solve their problem. If you're
True.
able to efficiently do that, that's what
Mm-hmm.
the client needs from you.
Absolutely true that. So, Shubham, as you are a non-programmer and you belong to a non-programming background, so as a non-programmer, what do you think was your preparatory stage? Because what I believe is that whenever we enter into any field, any new field, somewhere we do some kind of preparatory analysis of ourselves, or we do some preparatory things. So, what did you do as a preparatory stage?
Well, so as anybody who would want to transition a career in data science, I was one among them, and I started searching online. I went to
Mm-hmm.
Google search, did a couple of quick searches of top institutes in Bangalore, and then I went on to platforms like Quora to understand what people are actually writing about this field, and if
Right.
there are any well-known institutes who can
Mm-hmm.
help me with this whole process.
Right.
So going through that, what I realized was I needed in some institutes which could help me, because I was a non-programmer, and
Right.
jumping directly into the concepts of data science and coding would
Mm-hmm.
uh, would be very overwhelming for me, because I don't understand those topics.
Right.
So
Right.
I was looking for an institute who can, in a way, help me with some extra classes, or
Mm-hmm.
before the start of the actual data science classes, which would help me ease the process of understanding the,
Right.
you know, concepts like Python and statistics in a simpler way.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So
Right.
that was the key for me to, find an institute which can do all these things for me while
Mm-hmm.
making me ready for the data science field.
All right. All right. So, as you talked about to find the right institute, you use the term right institute. I would like to know that according to you, how to find that right institute, or according to you, how did you find that right institute with your friends, or by doing web search, or by exploring YouTube channels? You came to know, no, this is the right platform. I need to enroll myself to.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So that was one of the key things where I started going to various companies' websites,
Mm-hmm.
downloading their brochures, trying to
Right.
understand what kind of courses they offer to us.
Right.
Uh, and in the process, I went ahead and checked some of their testimonials of their
Mm-hmm.
students to see how valid they were, and if they actually are into that field, and how's their experiences going on.
Right. Right. Right.
So that basically helped me understand. And like I mentioned, the courses of if they can help me as a non programmer. So I spoke to some of the companies with their counseling team, which basically gave me an overview of how the course would look like, what
Mm-hmm.
what various certifications they would be providing us, say whether it will be from some reputed company, or what kind of flexibility I would have in terms of choosing the batches or
Right.
extra classes which people like me would need in terms of a non-programmer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is very true. Okay, so Shubham, what I have seen in people is that people believe that programming is a major chunk of data science. So you, as a non-programmer, what would you comment on this section of this particular view of non-programmers, that they believe programming is a major chunk and therefore somewhere they hesitate to land into data science?
Yes, you're absolutely right, because that is something which people think that data science is a booming industry right now, and making a career into it would be a very good choice. But
Right.
for people who are from the non-programming or the non-coding background, might be a little hesitant in the start. So
Mm-hmm.
the situation was pretty much the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that coding or programming is a part of data science.
Okay.
That's not purely what data science is about. Data
All right.
science is majorly about being an analyst, being able
All
to
right.
analyze problems and give the right solutions to it. That is
Right.
the core of it. So if you're good
Right.
at that, probably coding would not be a problem for you. And
Mm-hmm.
secondly, the kind of coding it requires is not very in depth, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to work as a Python developer. Rather, you will be a data engineer or a data scientist. For that, you just need to familiarize yourself with the kind of syntaxes, debugging the code, basically to understand it, what it does, and how it basically helps you solve that ultimate problem.
True.
There are a lot of tools in the market right now which can basically help you to write the codes very easily. You don't have to memorize the whole code and write it in a proper syntaxis form.
Yeah.
Rather, you can take use of a lot of tools out there which can
Mm-hmm.
basically help you, so you don't have to be, I can say, scared of it. it
Mm-hmm.
uh, it wouldn't be so difficult. You just need to understand the basic idea behind it, and you'll be able to.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what I can understand as all of this is that it is just that you need to know the basics of programming or the core of programming, and you don't need to be a master in programming, right? So
Yes,
this is amazing. For I think this would motivate the non-programmers who want to be in the field of data science to land themselves into data science field. That is amazing. My next
absolutely.
question, yeah, my next question to you is that how did you manage your work-life balance? Because already you were into one of the field as a marketing manager, and then you switched your field. So somewhere life must have been disturbed. Your work-life balance must have been disturbed. So how did you manage that?
Well, you're right, because I was, again, like I mentioned, I was into a startup, and I
Mm-hmm.
was into the advertising field.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working on Saturdays also. Unlike
All right.
the IT companies, Saturdays was mostly working for me.
All
And
right.
since I was into a client facing role, there were urgent deliverables which had to be given, maybe because of some festivities. And those are certain things which you cannot avoid. So
Absolutely.
sometimes I ended up working on weekends also. So the things, while the preparatory stage, I can say, while I was doing the courses and was in the process of being a data scientist, the things
Mm-hmm.
were difficult. But
All right.
what I can say is the institute helped me, because
Mm-hmm.
I had the flexibility of choosing between batches, wherein
All right.
so I can just give you my own example, wherein initially I started with the weekday batches, and then due to the increased work and mismatch of timings, I was unable to cope up with that. So then I,
Right.
went back and requested my instructors and the coordination team to help me with it. So they were more than
Right.
happy to shift me to the weekend batch. So
Right.
that is one of the very important things I can say while choosing your institute.
Mm-hmm.
is that they should be understanding what kind of environment you're working in. Since we are all working professionals, it can be
Right.
difficult at times, right?
True.
So considering that, I can say I got a lot of constant support from my
Mm-hmm.
institute while doing the course, because obviously there was a lot of ups and downs in everyone's life, I can say, due to the COVID impact.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that made me keep pumped up and continue the journey of completing my course towards the end.
Right, right. So I really want to know that what was your study pattern, because obviously you have to manage your work-life balance in a very certain or particular way. So somewhere you might have made a study pattern for which you would have followed a study pattern to accomplish your goal of becoming a data scientist or being into the field of data science.
Yes. So like initially when I was doing the research online to choose the course, obviously like any other person, I was skeptical that should I go for offline classes, which would be near to my house or somewhere on a blackboard kind of a thing, or
Mm-hmm.
rather I would choose a online class. So I can say with online I had a much better flexibility of
Mm-hmm.
the experiences can be a little different, but I would say the advantage which I got because of the online class is that after the session I was able to get the recordings of it, and if
All right.
anything was missed out I could always go back and check.
Right. Right.
And the second thing was, say, if you were not happy with the kind of teaching style or the kind of approach the trainer was taking, because each person is different and it might
Absolutely.
not work for a certain kind of people. So in
True.
that cases, I can say the institute helps us to give uh, basically change your instructor. So that's the
Right.
best thing I can say. So
Right.
that and you can also get the recordings of those classes.
Right.
So what I basically used to do was attend the classes and go through the recordings just to make my notes clearer.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the weekend or sometimes in the evenings when I get some time, again
Mm-hmm.
go back and check the recordings of the other trainers also.
All right.
Maybe just to have a kind of a revision kind of a thing, so that the
Right.
concepts become clear for me, because topics like Python and stats can be a little difficult at the initial stage. So
True.
that basically helped me to organize my study pattern and then eventually completing it.
Very true. Very true. This is very nice. Okay. So as you did a career transition from, from management background, so obviously that experience should also not go wasted, because it is also a crucial part of your career time span. You have invested a 2 to 3 years or more than that in your marketing, area. So how did you make it relevant to your current job role or to data science?
Well, so I was having almost close to 5 years of experience when I thought to switch my career into the data science field.
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, it was little difficult for me because switching completely from a management marketing background to data science can be a little difficult because you have to start from the scratch. So
Right.
what I basically did was take the certain aspects of it, like I mentioned earlier, which would enhance my current job role.
All
So
right.
for an example, I can say making use of the data visualizations in a much efficient manner in the kind of reporting and the presentations what we do while meeting with the clients. So that can basically help us. So all those techniques of data analysis and then the data visualization basically help me to enhance in my career and build upon it rather than
Right.
starting again from the scratch. And while doing these courses, the best part is you can work on the live projects. So as I was from the management background, you have a option to choose from a lot of you know management or say marketing or even finance, banking sector. All these projects, you will get an exposure to work on them in the live environment, and that's the
Right.
best part I can say,
All
because
right.
you will be able to work with the actual data sets of a lot of companies out there, and you will
Mm-hmm.
basically understand how the whole structuring works in the live projects. So
Right.
if you can do that, probably it will add on to what your previous experience has been.
Absolutely true. I think this is a pro tip here that for making your past experience relevant to data science or your current job role, projects are the best way of converting your previous experience relevant to your current job role, because obviously there are a lot of projects relating to marketing, banking, and finance. So if you belong to any of the sectors, you just need to get your hands dirty on those projects which belong to those sectors. That is very amazing. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So next I want to ask that how to find that perfect space for yourself, or the right space for yourself when you do a career transition, because obviously if you have switched your company from your past company of your past field to another company, so you must be expecting a higher in terms of compensation or in terms of any other positions or fields. But since you are a newbie in data science and you also did a career transition, so how to find that right platform for yourself, that this company will give me a good exposure, or this company will understand my learnings or my experience.
Well, I can say while switching into the data science field, you will basically come across people who would say that product companies are better. Some would say no, service companies would give you a much wider exposure.
Mm-hmm.
There
Right.
would be another set of people who would say, no, no, startups are doing really well in this field, and
Mm-hmm.
there are very specialized startups who are doing wonders.
Right.
So that's where you will have the confusion initially. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's up to you where you see yourself and where you see yourself excelling in your work,
All
because
right.
opportunities would be given to you. It's up to you how do you take it, because if you want to grow exponentially,
Mm-hmm.
startup would be an ideal choice for you.
All right.
But if you want to kind of experience a wide variety of projects and fields where you're working, I can say
Mm-hmm.
service industry would be a right pick for you.
All
But
right.
if you feel I want to learn one aspect of data science and excel only in that, in that
Mm-hmm.
case probably product companies might be a right choice for you.
Amazing. I think you have very specifically described that what kind of need you have, so that would be a best solution for you. That is really very amazing coming from you. Apart from this, I really want to know that how a non-programmer should prepare his resume, because obviously from a non-programming background, he's jumping into a programming background, which is actually very good. Like data science is a great scope. So how to prepare your resume and for the interview also.
Right. So I can say, in terms of starting with your resume, keep your resume simple and short.
Mm-hmm.
Always keep it a one pager, because when the recruiters are going through the resumes, they do not have the time to flip through the pages of the experiences you have put there. They
Mm-hmm.
just quickly glance your resume from top to bottom, and they just pinpoint those key things out of your resume. So I would
Right.
suggest having a summary at the top which summarizes your whole experience and the kind of experience you currently hold, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly where you want to be, what
Right.
in terms of data science, which field you want to get into.
Right.
And secondly, having a sidebar towards the site which talks about the kind of certifications you have done, the kind of expertise you have in which domains, any achievements which you have got. Highlighting that prominently in the form of bullet points would really help you.
Absolutely true.
And one more thing which I would want to add here is keeping your, so if you are a working professionals having certain years of experience, keeping your educational qualifications towards the end,
All
because
right.
that wouldn't matter so much. So
Right.
if you already have a certain experience in certain domain, try to correlate with the kind of projects which you have done while doing your data science
Mm-hmm.
course, and combining it all together with the kind of experience and the kind of work you want to do in the future, try to
Mm-hmm.
correlate to that and try to put it in
Absolutely.
that particular manner, so that it all comes as a it leverages for you and gives you a wider exposure rather than
Mm-hmm.
making you seen as a fresher into data science.
Right. Absolutely right.
So, in terms of projects, I would say highlight it in the resume so that the recruiters are able to see that the kind of projects you have worked on. Since in the field of data science, you're fairly new and you have very
Right.
little to showcase there.
Mm.
So, projects can basically help you do that
Right.
because you have already worked on the live projects, you have experience in them, and like I mentioned earlier, if you're coming from a certain background, you can do projects related to that particular field and
Right.
highlight that, so that the recruiters are able to understand, okay, that this person has certain experience in this field. And in terms of data science also, he has worked on some live projects. So that
Right.
will, basically help you. And
Absolutely.
in terms of interviews, I would say practice a lot of mock interview sessions. That again comes from the institute. If they're able to provide you that facility, well and good, because that basically helps you prepare to build confidence within yourself to face the
Absolutely.
interviewer. Because
Absolutely.
since you're going into a new field, and it can be a little difficult in the initial stage. So
Right.
mock interviews will basically help you overcome that fear and build
Mm-hmm.
confidence in you.
Right.
And along with that, you can go through a lot of webinars out there which are happening in this field, so
Mm-hmm.
that you know what is happening in the industry and where you want to be in the coming years. So that
Right.
would help you prepare for the kind of questions they would ask, because you should be able to answer the kind of industry you're going into. So that
Absolutely.
research is always necessary.
Absolutely. Very true.
So the idea here is to keep your interview questions and the kind of answers what you give precise and to the point.
Right.
And all these mock interview sessions and these webinars will help you build confidence and
Mm-hmm.
to give out the right kind of answers which the recruiters are looking for.
Absolutely. I think that's again a pro tip here because it's always told that you should think as the with the mindset of a recruiter. Put yourself into the shoes of the employer and look what that employer is looking into you, and then prepare yourself for the interviews and prepare your resume. So this is absolutely amazing. Yeah. So my last question and the lately my question to you would be that how was your experience with Learnbay? What kind of mentors did you experience you had with them, or what are facilities you had, or what was your overall experience with Learnbay?
Well, I can say the experience was really good because it took me a good 7 months to complete the course, going through the course materials, going through the recordings, in between, like I mentioned, switching between batches,
Right.
getting the constant support from them in terms of, even the kind of like in terms of any doubts or clarification what we had. So you can always reach out to your trainer. They are more than
Mm-hmm.
happy to help you out. And
Absolutely.
the best thing is they provide you extra classes for a non-programmer. So that's an add-on. Probably not
Mm-hmm.
many of the institutes do that.
Right.
And the kind of flexibility they give you to choose between batches and to choose between trainers, even so, that's a very good add-on and a rare quality, I can say, which not every institute out there provides you.
Absolutely.
And I would like to highlight another point here is the another good thing is that LearnBay provides you with hybrid model of learning, where
Mm-hmm.
you can choose to do the online classes, and while you're doing your projects, you can come down to the institute, do the projects live with the instructor there itself, so that
Right.
you have the flexibility to interact with the trainers and ask them questions on the go as and when you're stuck
Right.
there. So that kind of
Right.
feedback loop is provided there then and there instantly. So that
Absolutely.
hybrid model would basically help you, complete your projects much more efficiently, and then based on them, get a job and placement very easily.
Absolutely. I think that last, note which was there, ki after all, it's all about the job. And if you are getting such good facilities, so at last you would get a job if you do the hard work and if you get such facilities. So that is really amazing. And it was really, really nice talking to you. And I really thank you, Shubham, for joining us today to share your experience, to share your success stories and your mantras and strategies while preparing for data science. So it was really pleasure to have you on the series of Learnbay interview series. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much,
coming.
Diksha.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.